The demo level has been out for a couple of months now, and I've received suggestions on how to improve the game and spent some time implementing it. Here's a summary of what has been changed from the last version of the demo. Gameplay changes. The main gameplay change is that the size of the zombie explosion is halved and the bone projectiles from the skull moths no longer bounce on the ground. Energy UI. A few players didn't understand how the energy system worked. There's now an energy counter that shows up above the player's head when collecting energy from candles, using sub-weapons and teleporting. Settings. Save states has been added to the Miracle tab. Gamepad and keyboard customizations are now possible. There's also a number of bug fixes, mobile controls in the web version, and Mac and Linux builds. Gameplay changes. 50% zombie explosions. The zombie explosions are reduced in size by 50%. The earlier size was made to hit the player if they attack a zombie with a max ranged attack. A lot of players had a hard time dealing with this and found it very frustrating. The new updated version still damage the player if they stand close to the zombie while attacking, but it's possible to attack them if you keep your distance from the zombie, especially with the final combo attack. No bouncing bones. The bones dropped by the skull moth no longer bounce and instead spawn hands when colliding with the ground. The behavior of the projectile has changed quite a bit. The earlier version would bounce when hitting the ground and bounce a few times before it disappeared. What it meant in practice is that the bone would create a vertical line the player had to avoid, but also trying to hit skull moth and sometimes minding multiple bones or other enemies at the same time. The new version instead spawns hand when the bone collides with the ground. The hand deals damage on contact, stays a few seconds on the screen and then disappears. The hand can be damaged to make it disappear faster, so even if the skull moth's movement hasn't been changed, the attack feels less unpredictable. There's more things that can be changed to make the game a bit easier, but I figured I'd start here and wait for playtests to see how it turned out. Let me know what you think about the changes. UI energy. The current energy is shown over the player character's head every time the player uses sub-weapon or teleports. The energy counter is also shown when enough energy shards has been collected to gain 1 energy. There's also a higher pitched pickup sound when the player collects 1 energy. This hopefully makes it clearer which actions consume energy and how much energy you currently have. There's also been changed, so if you have 0 energy, it's no longer possible to throw the sword. Before the changes, you could throw the sword and then you couldn't teleport because you didn't have enough energy for it. A lot of players found this frustrating, since it would leave the player in a corner without a sword to attack with and without enough energy to teleport away from the danger. Settings. Save states. Save state and load state has been added to the assist menu. There's already a lot of options in the assist menu, but a number of players that struggled with this game still decided to not use them because of how it felt like cheating. Since save state is a common feature in emulators and used while playing this type of games, it felt like a good fit for this game. Hopefully it will feel more like a middle ground by reducing the difficulty but not making the experience trivial. Custom gamepad and keyboard controls. It's now possible to rebind actions on gamepad and keyboard. The customization menu is accessed from the pause menu. Let me know if there's anything else you'd like to customize or any way the menu works. FPS counter. It's now possible to turn on an FPS counter from the settings menu. It was added to find a bug that affected performance and was kept in the game. Bug fixes. Dash out of rounds with zombies. There was a bug when zombies could push the player into walls, and if you dashed at the right moment, you would end up outside of the ground collision. Necromancer and falling pillars. The Necromancer would spawn on a very high pile of fallen pillars and would land on top outside of the screen. This would pause boss fight until the player destroyed the tower of rubble. Zombie exit animation collision. When a zombie returned to Earth, its collision would get extra large. Camera edge push enemies. Camera edges push zombies or broken pillars along when the camera scrolled. Fixed Chrome slowdown. The web version had a lot of slowdown, only visible in Chrome. It had to do with the WebGL options. All of these bugs has been found by players. If you find some bugs in the game, please let me know. The web version can also be played on mobile. Mac and Linux version has been added. If you try one of them, let me know if you encounter any issues. Aside from these changes that you can experience in the demo, the other stages are coming along nicely with new enemies and improved boss fights. You can keep up to date with the current changes on social media, and you can wishlist the game on Steam if you haven't done it already.